Hi, this is John Johnson, Senior Instructional Designer here at the Theoris Group, and welcome to this overview for the Uninet time entry system. As of Thursday, November 6th, the Uninet system will replace the current expanded time entry system. This means that all Theoris employees will need to enter their time for the current pay period, November 2nd through the 8th, into Uninet. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the basics of entering your time into the system. And there's some nice features that I will point out along the way, such as the ease of entry for time and expenses, submitting cash outs through your timesheets, and also being able to view reports for things such as your PTO balance, etc. So with that, let's get started. So to start, you want to access the time entry system, and to do that you need to open the URL to it in your web browser. You should see the URL on the bottom of the screen here. It will also be mailed to you. So you type that in and to the address bar and go to the website, and then you need to log in. You will need to enter your username. Your username will be the first three letters of your last name, followed by the first three letters of your first name, and then you will enter your default password. Your default password will be welcome, all lowercase, 123. So it's welcome 123, and then you click log in, and it should take you to the dashboard page. So this is your home page. One note about your password: it will expire shortly after you log in for the first time. So what you'll want to do is update it or change it on the first time that you log into the system. So to do that, we're going to go to the Preferences menu, and you do that by clicking Preferences in the upper right, and it will take you to this screen. And you have three tabs to pick from. We're going to go to the Password tab, and in the Password tab, you're going to want to enter your current password and then type your new password and then confirm it and then click Save. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to change this user's password. So once that's done, you start using your new password from here on out. One other thing that you'll want to do, as long as we're in the preferences, is to change the email address in the system. Now this is important because Uninet will send messages to confirm your timesheet's been submitted, or if you haven't submitted it on time, you'll get a reminder. And for this reason, you want to make sure that the emails that the system has is accurate, and it's one that you check frequently. So to change that, you go to the Profile tab, and you should see the email field there. You can simply just delete what is in there if you don't want that address and replace it with your updated address. You can access your timesheet from the dashboard on your home screen, or you can go to the time screen located in the main menu across the top there. Either one will work. Your active timesheets will display in a table showing you the time period, the hour, and the status of the timesheet. If you want to create a new one, you simply click the link to create a new timesheet. Notice that the date field automatically populates with the current date. If this date is in the current pay period, you don't need to change it. It will automatically create the timesheet for this time period. If you need to create a timesheet for a different period, you would either type in a date or select it from the calendar, and that will create the timesheet for that period. We'll accept this though, and you'll see the timesheet details. Now the timesheet will pre-populate with the project. It will also carry forward from week to week, so whatever I enter in the previous timesheet will carry forward into a new timesheet. The hours don't, but the project details do. So I shouldn't have to adjust that, and task or the pay code that also pre-populates. So then you will enter your hours. You should enter them in the time increments that are asked of you by your client, and we'll enter some hours here for our first 2 days. Now if I need to enter time for another purpose like admin, I'll need to do that in a new row. So what I'll do is click on the project drop down, find the admin job and select that, and then I will enter my admin hours. Now when you are going to include admin hours, it's also required that you add a comment with a description for how you spent that time. So I'll say for this I was in training for the 2 hours. Another feature that you have is the ability to add overtime. So for here I'm going to add overtime hours by selecting the project and switching it over to overtime. Now naturally you're not going to be able to do that until you have at least 40 hours accrued of billable time, but the feature is there. One thing to be aware of with the Uninet system is you cannot enter time for the future. So if I try to get ahead of the game and add hours, it's going to tell me, sorry, you can't enter time in advance, and it will also clear it out for me. For salaried employees, there is one major change in how you enter your time in the Uninet system. Your total time must equal at least 40 hours per week. If you do not have 40 hours of billable time, you will need to enter the remaining time as PTO, and you can select that from your project list. If you do not have enough PTO available to take, you will need to enter the time as leave without pay, and that's listed as LWOP. If you use the LWOP code, then there is a possibility that your paycheck will be decreased, and payroll will contact you if that's the case. So after you have finished entering your time, then you want to make sure you click the Save button, and that will save your time as entered. And we'll go back to the dashboard and take a look. Our timesheet that we've been working with is there, and the status is for in use, which means we can go back in by clicking the pencil button. That's the edit, and let us add more hours. When you reach the end of the pay period and you are ready to submit, you will then click the Submit button, and that will enter your time into the approval queue. Now let's go back out. We've got an example. This timesheet has been submitted. Now keep in mind that our best practice is to submit your timesheet on Friday prior to leaving for the day. And the deadline is Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern, so please do not miss that Monday 9 a.m. cutoff. Your submitted timesheets are placed into an approval queue in the system, and the status has been updated to submitted. In addition, you will receive an email to your designated email address confirming that we have received your timesheet. Note that the submitted timesheet can still be edited until they are approved. Approved timesheets cannot be edited, so if you need to make changes to your timesheet, you will need to contact accounting. So if you need to change an approved one, you've got to contact accounting. If you want to change a submitted one, you can. You're going to get this warning letting you know that it's going to remove it from the queue, but you can still make your adjustments and then resubmit it. If your time approver or your supervisor notices an error in your timesheet, they can disapprove or reject the timesheet. If this happens, you will get a message from the Uninet system notifying you. The message will include the reason for the rejection. You can also expect your supervisor to contact you with an explanation. If your timesheet gets rejected, it will appear in your active timesheet list with the status of disapproval. And to fix the error, you simply need to click the pencil icon next to the timesheet and then edit and resubmit the timesheet. And that's it for time entry. Now there's some additional features of the system that I would like to cover with you now to address some of the more common time entry situations. For employees who are eligible for PTO, you no longer need to send an email to accounting to request a cash out because the Uninet system allows you to submit cash out requests in your timesheet. If your PTO balance is greater than 40 hours, you have the option of using the cash out pay code. Cash out hours can only be entered in on the second week of a pay period, however. If you have less than 40 hours in your PTO balance and attempt to cash out, you're going to receive an error message telling you so. To do the cash out, you simply need to add a new row. You will select PTO from the project list, and the pay code you're going to select cash out, and then you're going to enter the cash out hours in your timesheet. You can enter the cash out hours for any day of the week, and then you're going to click Save or Submit, and your hours are then submitted. Now, how do you know if you have enough PT hours in your balance to take a cash out? Well, there are reports in the Uninet system that will tell you how many hours you have in your PTO bank. So you click Reports, Underneath your details report section, there's one called an accrual details. Now there's additional reports that can be rather helpful, and if you look in the manual that's going to be sent along with this training, it also will address reports and tell you of some other ones that are quite handy. I'm just going to show you this one real quick, and you can adjust the date range if you want. I'm going to leave it as is and just click Run Report, and this is going to tell me that I had 125 hours in the bank. Now I just submitted or saved a timesheet, so it took 24 hours out, and now I'm down to 101. So pretty handy report there to let you know what your PTO balance is. One other thing you can do with the system is submit a leave request. You do that by going to your dashboard on your time or your home page, and you click the link for leave request, and that will open up a form for you. It's pretty simple. You just enter your date range for the days that you are asking off. I'm going to select the 18th and take that off, and it automatically fills in your hours. You do not need to add a comment, although you can add one if you wish. And when you submit your leave request, it goes to the same person who approves your time, and you will notice if I go back out that there is a status for those as well, so you can see, yes, this has been submitted and these have been completed. And that covers the basics of time entry using Uninet. If you have any additional questions about time entry, you can refer to the Uninet Help System, which is located in the upper right of the screen, or the time entry manual that will be distributed along with this video, or you can contact us if you need further clarification. If you're ever uncertain about anything in the time entry system, you can contact Margie Lipsey for assistance. Thank you for your time and attention watching this important video. Have a great week serving our great clients.